Today, I'm going to take time out of my precious day to sit here and watch what seems like hundreds of 2025 K-pop award show performances, also known as end-of-year performances. This video was requested by some subscribers, so I decided to watch them and give my thoughts on multiple performances by certain groups. Enjoy, or don't. I don't care. I don't know whose idea it was to have aespa release Dirty Work, because this entire era has just been a mess. The only good thing to come out of aespa's 2025 era, in terms of their music, is those gaggy teasers we got. That's it. Most of the time when they perform Dirty Work live, even when we can hear their microphones, they sing so low and with no ad-libs, so it's just so, I don't know. It's not boring, but it's just weird, I guess. Like for the Mama Awards, the intro was so good, they all looked so amazing, and I was so ready for the actual performance, but then they started singing and I was like, hello? I'm so glad I'm not the only one that wasn't feeling not just this song, but this era as a whole. Their Mama performance would have been an instant 10 out of 10 if the first song they performed was better. Or you could also make the argument that maybe this song doesn't suit their voices, and you wouldn't be wrong. And to make matters worse, the instrumental was 100 times louder than their microphones. One of the rare times aespa is actually singing live, and y'all decide to drown them out with these loud-ass drums. Moving on to Rich Man, the performance instantly became 10 times better. We could hear their voices, they were obviously singing live. There was a perfect balance between the backtrack, them singing live, and the instrumental. I even started dancing along at some points. I really enjoyed this part of the performance. If their Mama performance was just Rich Man, then yeah, I could easily say it just might be the best award show performance of their careers, but it was ruined with Dirty Work. When it comes to aespa's 2025 year-end performances, I will say this. Overall, I am impressed. There were moments where it felt like whoever was in charge of their microphones was sabotaging them, but for the most part, they put on some very solid performances, and I could actually hear them singing live. That honestly was the best part, actually being able to hear them over the backtrack. I think tears started forming in my eyes. Now, they did have some top performances, like the Fact Music Awards, but they made up for it with their other year-end performances, like SBS Gayo Daejeon. I think SBS Gayo Daejeon might be my fave out of all of them, to be honest. I was vibing the entire time, and I don't even like Rich Man. It was just so nice to hear their voices. I couldn't do nothing but gag. Overall, I'd give aespa's 2025 year-end performances a ranking of 7.5 out of 10. Mama would have been legendary if their Dirty Work performance was better. MMA and the Fact Music Awards was very awkward, so I think this ranking is fair. Honestly, I have to give these girls some props. I can't imagine performing at so many different end-of-year shows and having to memorize different choreography and such. I think that their performances would have more impact if they didn't perform at so many award shows in such little time, but it is what it is. They are doing a good job. Nothing legendary, but satisfactory. Look, I'm gonna just say it. Yeonjun carries this group's performances on her back. It's so crazy. If she wasn't in the group, all of their performances would be so flat and boring. I don't even want to imagine it. This isn't me trying to be shady to the other girls in the group, but I have to give Yeonjun her props. I was watching their Mama performance, and the only time I was 100% attentive is when Yeonjun started singing. With the other members, it's so hard to tell if they're singing live, or if the backtrack is so loud it's drowning them out. And it's frustrating, and honestly, it makes the performance boring. But then Yeonjun part comes, and she always sounds amazing. Always singing over the backtrack. I never have to question if she's singing live or not, because Queenie always delivers. She just got it. Now this isn't me saying that all of the other girls just lip sync or whatever. I'm just saying that it seems like their voices seem to get drowned out by the backtrack a lot, at least compared to Yeonjun. Liz has her moments sometimes as well. Also, their choreography is boring. There's no other way to say it. I'm not even trying to be mean, but whoever is making IVE's choreo needs to be fired immediately. And I have even seen some of their fans on Twitter say the same thing. I like how they try to be creative with their intros, but sometimes the theatrics can be a bit played out. Like, no, I'm not gagging at you stabbing a LED screen. Sorry. I guess I would gag more if the actual performance was as theatrical and grand as their intros. I have the same critique for their MMA performance that I had for aespa's. Why are the mics so weird? I don't know if it's because the backtrack is finally not at 100%, so we can now obviously tell when they're singing live, and when they decide not to, or if whoever is in charge of the microphones decided to just play with the volume whenever they felt like it. I don't know, but it made the performance so awkward, just like aespa's. I mean, I don't expect any artist that is singing and dancing at the same time to sing live for 100% of the performance. It's okay to take a break. It would have been nice if the backtrack was a little louder, just as long as I can still hear them over it. But I guess Melon Music Awards doesn't know how to do that. But once again, my queen Yeonjun slayed regardless. She sounded amazing and stable despite of it all. Their 2025 SBS Gayo Daejeon was a pleasant surprise. It started off slow, I was really bored, but once they started performing the holiday version of Rebel Heart, I actually liked it. They sang live for the most part, and their outfits were really cute. Yeonjun carried once again, and it wasn't anything legendary, but better than what I'm used to seeing from IVE's 2025 end-of-year performances. Overall, I can say this. Yeonjun, Liz, and sometimes Wonyoung are the only members that have moments where their live vocals actually make me go, wow. The best way to describe their year-end performances is just good. Not bad, but nothing noteworthy. These performances made little to no impact on me, and I probably won't remember any of them once I finish this video. I don't know if it's because they perform at so many places in such little time. Same with the aespa, but these performances have no lasting impact. Maybe it's not that important, I don't know. But I'd like to have at least one performance I can say is legendary, iconic. I guess overall I'd give them a 7 out of 10. I've been waiting to talk about babymonster's performances on this channel, mainly because there's so much discourse around them. Say what you want about them, say that Aeon is too loud, or Ace's raps make no sense. But one thing you cannot deny is that these girls know how to get a crowd hyped. Honestly, I think it's a YG thing. I have yet to watch a babymonster performance and be bored, and these 2025 end-of-year performances are no different. Also, I have never seen them lip-sync or get drowned out by the backtrack. And that's one of the main reasons why their performances are so refreshing. I don't even like the majority of their title tracks, but hearing them perform them live always gets me hype, no matter what. They're one of the few newer K-pop girl groups that knows how an award show performance is supposed to be like. Good stage presence all across the board, hyping the crowd, live vocals. Just a recipe for success. The only thing this group's is missing is Rami. Rora, Farida, and Ayeon are amazing live vocalists. And it's so nice to see Rora getting more attention for her vocals, now that Rami is sadly absent. But Rami is a key part of this group, and its live performances. It really does pain me to listen to some of Ayeon's high notes sometimes, because I know for a fact that Rami can do them so much better. And like I said, Aeon is a great live vocalist, but her vocal tone when she does high notes is not only unappealing to me, but many other listeners. Also, there are moments where Ayeon doesn't know when to tone it down. I appreciate the energy for sure, but it's important that the group stays balanced. Unnecessary screaming is not needed. But nonetheless, I'd give babymonster's 2025 year-end performances a solid 8.75 out of 10. They're all so young. They're only going to get better and better, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table in the future. TXT is one of the few K-pop groups that actually do consistently sing live, and you can obviously hear them over the backtrack, so that's nice. They tend to have good choreo and decent stage presence, at least compared to their peers, but even despite all of that, there's just nothing about their stages that made me go, wow. The best way I can describe their stages are forgettable and just another K-pop boy group performance. Now I'm not trying to be mean or shady. In fact, Beautiful Strangers was one of my favorite K-pop songs of 2025, and it was so nice to hear them perform it live at Mama. But there was just nothing about their performances that was noteworthy. Even Yeonjun's solo stages. He has very good stage presence, good live vocals, and that effortless charisma that we barely see in K-pop nowadays. And yet, his stage performances ultimately failed to leave a strong impression on me. I think a major reason why I couldn't vibe with Yeonjun's solo performances is because his solo music just is not for me. I don't think I'm the target audience, and that's okay. I don't enjoy it at all. Nonetheless, he is good at what he does, but I feel like if TXT wants to have a lasting impact on viewers watching their end-of-year performances, they need to implement something to make them stand out a bit. That's just my opinion. Stream Beautiful Strangers. Overall, a 7.9 out of 10. I used to find this group so boring, but the more I watch and listen to their live performances, I am now a stan. I have such high hopes for meovv, mainly because they're just rookies, and yet they still try their hardest to put on a good show. Their facial expressions, stage presence, live vocals, and choreo is so good, despite them only being rookies, and they're exceptionally good if you compare them to their peers. I just have to give 10s where 10s are due. The only thing meovv is missing is better music. Once the black label decides to give meovv some bangers, it's over for the rest of the girlies. But moving on to their end-of-year performances, I have to say that I was impressed. You have to remember that they're just a rookie group. For them to be rookies and to bring this much energy to their stages, also with live vocals, it's very impressive. They're all so talented, but Gaon especially knows how to bring the energy the most. The only problem I can think of that their end-of-year performance had was that there were times where they got really tired, really fast. But that's something that they will get better at with time. All in all, I am impressed. Sure, none of their stages were on legendary status, but they're just rookies. I have no doubts that they will only get so much better as time goes on. And what makes them even more special, at least to me, is they stand out a lot amongst their peers. So I'll give them a solid 8 out of 10. I had really high expectations for nmixx. They're one of my favorite K-pop groups out right now, and Blue Valentine is a timeless K-pop classic. Their performance at 2025 SBS Gayo Daejeon was going so good at first. The intro was pretty, their outfits and even the background dancers' outfits are so iconic, but then the song started and their mics were so low it was like they were whispering. This was an obvious microphone issue because the backtrack was really low, insinuating that they originally planned to sing live. But whoever was in charge of their microphones decided to sabotage them, I guess. I couldn't find their entire performance at 2025 MBC Music Festival, but their performance of Blue Valentine was decent. Their Fact Music Awards performance was just decent as well. It would have been better if they focused less on having like 100 dance breaks, but that's just my opinion. The one performance that truly did initially capture my attention was their performance at Music Bank Global Festival in Japan, 2025. The choreo for the intro was insane, and starting off with Spinnin' on it was such a great decision. But sadly, I couldn't even hear their live vocals once they started singing, so it got boring quickly. Overall, I'm just disappointed in the mic issues, and hopefully in next year's end-of-year performances, things get better. nmixx should really focus on showcasing their live vocals and having memorable stages, because they have beautiful songs like Blue Valentine that deserves it. There's a lot of critiques that can be said about Cortis, but watching their performances through an unbiased lens, I can 100% see why they're so popular, even though they debuted like a week ago. Say what you want, but at the very least, they are offering something that is outside of the box when it comes to K-pop boy groups. You can tell that their main priority is to put on a good show and entertain the crowd, not overly focusing on getting the choreography right or looking stoic on stage. They're having fun, whilst also making sure the crowd is having fun as well. The main problem with so many K-pop boy groups nowadays is that they offer nothing new to the table. It's the same stuff just recycled over and over again. And, like I said, I do have a lot of personal qualms when it comes to cortis, but I understand the appeal, and their end-of-year performances were genuinely good, the main highlight being their mama performance. In a time in K-pop where a lot of groups lack charisma and genuine stage presence, Cortis is a breath of fresh air in that sense. Solid 8.25 out of 10 for me. There is no cohesion in this group's performances. You have Tarzan doing entirely too much on one side, Annie being lackluster on another, and Woochan trying to keep up with Tarzan's energy. They're just all over the place. And for me personally, it makes their performances unenjoyable. That, plus, I am not a fan of their music. But even then, I don't like most of babymonster's songs, and I still enjoyed their end-of-year performances. Their stage presence sets them apart from many K-pop groups today. They aren't timid or overly stoic on stage. However, a lack of cohesion causes their performances to come across as messy rather than impactful. Overall, not for me. Perhaps I'm just not the target audience. Who knows? 6.2 out of 10. Itzy are amazing dancers with great charisma, and we've known this since their debut, especially when it comes to Yeji. But when it comes to their 2025 end-of-year performances, they lack one thing. And this can be said about a lot of K-pop groups nowadays. All of their performances were predictable and lacked hype. Yes, they executed the choreo well, had stable live vocals for the most part, but they do nothing outside of the bare minimum. They do what is expected of them and leave it at that, and that is not exciting to me. Sorry. They have their moments where they have me hooked and engaged, but the momentum never lasts. I will say that the live version of Tunnel Vision is so much better than the studio version. 6.8 out of 10 for me. Whilst I do think Spaghetti is one of sserafim's worst comebacks, I do appreciate the uniqueness it is bringing into their live stages. The spaghetti props, the quirky dance moves, I love it all. In most of their end-of-year stages, not only do they have excellent choreo, but the stage sets are just so amazing to look at. And honestly, none of their performances were boring. Their 2025 KBS Song Festival Global Performance had a really nice intro, and I absolutely adore the unique concept. And I highly appreciate them doing something different than what we see other groups do over and over again. Were they perfect performances? No. But they were really, really good, especially compared to their peers. 8.1 out of 10 for me. I could only find 3 of their end-of-year performances on YouTube, so if there's any more, please let me know. Anyway, the best word I can use for these performances is boring. Not trying to be shady, but illit really didn't offer us anything new or exciting with these stages. I'm grateful I could hear them sing somewhat live at MA, and the intro for the performance, minus Wonhee's ballerina thing, was actually nice and had me hooked. But once they started performing the actual songs, I got really bored. There was nothing memorable about it, and it honestly looked more like a regular music show stage than an award show performance. The same could be said about their performance at 2025 Music Bank Global Festival in Japan, and their performance at 2025 MBC Music Festival. The only thing that had me somewhat gagged during their Japan festival performance was Iroha's dancing at the start. Other than that, there was nothing memorable about it. Again, this isn't me trying to be shady. I'm just giving my honest thoughts. Even though sserafim stages had their imperfections, they were still at least memorable. It seems like whoever was in charge of illit's stages didn't care if they left an impact or not. And yes, I am disappointed. Mainly because the songs they performed were really good. I love Jellyus. I somewhat love Not Cute anymore. They deserve better stages. I believe illit are still rookies, so of course I am giving them the benefit of the doubt. I just hope that next year, Hybe, Belift, or whoever is in charge of their performances can structure them with better stages, and hopefully with time, the girls get more comfortable on big stages like this. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this group and their performances. It seems like they do, for the most part, have stable live vocals, but sadly, in almost every one of their end-of-year performances, their backtrack is turned up to 100. Want to hear Hearts to Hearts live vocals? Not today, buddy. The number one word I could use to describe their stages is robotic. I understand that they're still rookies, so of course I am giving them the benefit of the doubt. But this group is seriously lacking any natural charisma. It seems like every movement and even facial expression is extremely coached and rehearsed. Nothing seems natural about it, and that's what makes their stages seem so robotic. I do expect them to get better with time. After all, they did just debut, but this is just my thoughts. They have really good music, and so I did enjoy that aspect of their stages, and their intro to their 2025 Mama performance was really good. But when it comes to the actual performance of their songs, they really need to work on that. 6.5 out of 10. Stray Kids honestly just gets it. I haven't enjoyed much, if any, of their music since about 2021, and yet, while watching these award show performances, I was hooked the entire time. If you're gonna have an overly theatrical intro to your performance, then the actual performance needs to reach that same level of hype, and Stray Kids delivered just that in their Mama performance. I love that they don't put their performances in a box like most K-pop boy groups do. It's okay to do something different, and Stray Kids understands that. And of course, they're just good performers overall. Great natural charisma, not overly focusing on the choreo, and more so just making sure they're putting on a good show and great live vocals, especially from Sungmin. So yeah, props to Stray Kids. I think a rating of 8.9 out of 10 is fair to me. That is it. If this video does somewhat decent, I'll think of doing a part 2 because I know I missed some groups, but I think I covered enough in this one video alone. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments so we can get a discussion going, and I'll see you in the next one.